This is ADMAX Edgefrost, the most secure prison in Minecraft 1.12.2. Let me go ahead and change these settings. I think this is correct. Oh, nope, that's not right. Arriving by minecart and shackled with these handcuffs from the Timo Cuffs mod, you find yourself amongst this massive concrete block structure. Yes, this prison uses mods, one of the first to do so. Upon arriving at the prison, you will wind up in this little intake area. There's no way to jump the gaps, or no way to jump the gaps. Could you e-pearl out? Possibly. And you could possibly e-pearl out of there, but then you'd find yourself here, and you would have to ender pearl and then ender pearl again, and you'd have to make a very lucky shot in order to escape from this area. So by the time that would happen, though, your guard would have spotted you and you'd be screwed. You will know what I mean by screwed in a few— oh, darn it. This is gonna be awful. I don't know what I just did there. I'm gonna go ahead and go into spectator mode in order to go back into the game intake area. Ideally, being transferred, you have no items. But if you do, this is where the intake area comes in. There's an anvil, and there's a chest with shulker boxes in it. Inmates are to put their heads in here and get hit with XP bottles. You get enough XP to get a shulker box, rename it, put your stuff in there, and then you put it into this trap chest. The items go down into this hopper and go into the release area, which we will talk about in a few minutes. Once the guards ascertain that all the inmates have removed all their items, they use their keycard and move on to the next area of the prison. Guard goes behind this door and uses another keycard holder, the same keycard holder from earlier, to close the door. And I forgot to put a keycard here. Oh, this would never happen in an actual prison, since this would be a humongous security risk. So this classic jet door closes behind you, and you're herded into this little room. This is a bed trap, or kill check. You set your spawn using the bed fix mod, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take off my armor for this. Go into game mode 0. You set your spawn, and you die into lava. You wind up on the other side, where every item got burned in the lava. You find yourself with a whole bunch of these leather tunics, which is the prison uniform. I'm sure that people in other security levels would get new tunics if they get moved up. And this is where intake ends. You get put in a minecart, and you find yourself moving. All inmates, regardless of where they are, will wind up first in this Supermax ward. Also known as the Omega unit. inmates here are confined to their cells about 23 or 24 hours a day. Little test subjects we have here to test the security are these electric craft people from the mod Electric Craft. The only reason why they're here is because we can test protocols on them without having to put players in the server. Because I don't really have friends who probably be willing to do this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cells, I think, in here. This is actually the death row block. If people are getting executed, they get shipped off here, and this is our transition seal. Ideally, and nobody will be. Some people will go beyond this gate. The door closes behind them, and that's the last they hear. Behind the transition seal is this password door. Oops. Hold on, I need to get rid of this redstone. You enter a keycard, and then you enter a code. You get in, and then another guard enters a keycard, and then a password to close the door. This is the death house, with 2 cells which feed prison bread, Nutriloaves, through a dispenser through the wall every day. I may have to fix the daylight sensor though, since it's not glass. So these cells aren't exactly glamorous. They have a bed, a chest, and that's it. There's a shower. You will go in, close the door, and then you shower. I should have known that something like that would happen. Well, anyways, you then go back to your cell. Normal days, this is your routine. But there's some where people are sent to die. In this case, a guard goes behind here, and a hidden jet door appears in the wall, revealing the death chamber. Or should I say, 3. The first execution method is an analog of the gas chamber. Harming potions are dispensed through these dispensers after the prisoner is sealed within, via this lever and a hopper clock. The electric chair is here, which is literally, you pull a lever, this hatch opens. This dispenses a minecart, close the hatch, force the poor guy into the chair, and then they die. Any items that survive the burning get put in a chest to be returned to the inmate's family. And the final death chamber is the... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I should have disabled asteroids in the config. Anyway, the firing squad. I could probably make use of the FBI agent mob in the NTM mod. But these reinforced doors would be put in. This is a potion of topical midazolam, which is used to blind, slow, and give prisoners nausea, to allow for either easy cuffing or transport without inmates knowing the layout. Or if the player is particularly squeamish, they just have them close their eyes and push them with the J key. So that's all with the death chambers. This is part of the Supermax section. This toggles the gas refill mechanism, or potion refill mechanism. It uses humming potions, I don't know why it says gas. Wait a few seconds, and then... yeah. This is an emergency evacuation. A 3-block thick piston door, and then a minecart sends you to the outside of the prison. In the event that the prison gets invaded or something, that's where they will be sent to get transferred to another institute. Likely ADMAX Edgefrost, which we'll cover in another video. But if you screw up somehow in Omega Block, or in the shoe, which is here, this pink area, you'll be sent to the Panacea Block, also known as the Ultramax unit. A 6-layer thick area of almost unbreakable blocks unless you use explosives. This has only 2 dedicated cells. Because this contains the worst of the worst inmates. People who've escaped from other areas, or who've proved to be a threat to themselves or staff. This is the dock. If you find yourself being sent to court or something, well, that's not likely. You're probably going to find yourself being sent by minecart to court. You will be sent here, cuffed, topical midazolammed before you get here, and then you will find yourself being taken out through this machine and through the door. This is what the door looks like from the outside. It is quite secure. The flying machine will take you over to this little area, where another flying machine waits to take you the, 1300 block, 11-minute trip to the other prison. if you wind up in the HyperMax unit for whatever reason, you'll be taken up this staircase and into here, where you'll be forced to set your spawn on the bed, and then the guard will shoot you. You will then respawn in the inside of this cell. I forgot to put a dispenser with food in it up here, but whatever. It's not like you won't respawn in the prison. I also put a little test dummy here. This is the escape alarm. If a guard suspects escape, they will use the keycard, and that will activate an alarm. Crap. Forget you saw any of that. This is a 16 combination lock, which will take quite a few hours to attempt to crack. If you did crack it, this would open up, revealing a keycard lock, which would take you to the evacuation of the prison, that's how you open up the piston door over there. There's also a staff compartment where guards would drop down with the key card. They would use a very primitive version of an ender pearl stasis chamber. Well, it is a bit finicky. Hold on, I need to go ahead. It is finicky, but if you do it right, the pearl will get stuck between the piston. In here is a whole bunch of ender pearls in that chest. This key opens up the guard bedroom, along with a whole bunch of chest plates with glide jetpacks, cybernetic nanosuits, equipment stations, one bed, 5 guards, endo chest. When someone needs to get called, they retract the lever and they get teleported here. This is an emergency escape hatch, or if something happens, you press the button, you get in, and then you open up the hatch after a passcode is entered. Most of the time, you will use this thing. The reverse jet door opens, and you get yeeted out of the guard area. This is the radiation containment cell. If an inmate comes with radiation or radioactive items, they will be decontaminated in here, and then they will be sent on their way. This is the disciplinary barracks. You do not want to go there. A 2-cell wing, basically the equivalent of Range 13. Look it up. It's ADX Florence. All of this is behind the chain link fence, which cordons off the violent inmates from the others. There is another Ultramax block in the event that someone tries escaping from this minimum security area. Each of these little huts has 2 beds. Each of these huts has 2 or 3 beds, 2 or 3 chests. This can contain about 20 inmates. It's pretty nice. Guards can of course get in, but it's a nice place to be. There is a TV, 2 transfer cells or for solitary confinement, a communal greenhouse, and in here is a minecart stopping area. The minecart is destroyed, it goes in the hopper, and then it gets taken. Then this keycard sends it to a chest, and everything that goes in there will be handled as contraband. You do not want to be sent to contraband, since that would get you sent over to the shoe. This is what I call the bloody traffic jam, since that's what it looks like, a bloody traffic jam. I made this entire thing ad hoc using a whole bunch of secure redstone interfaces. And all of this is controlled from the Omega unit. And of course, the prison is guarded by a whole bunch of turrets. You try getting in via Elytra without permission, you get shot. You try breaking out of the prison, and you so happen to not have the correct turret AI, you get shot. Try removing the AI in order to cut on the guards, you also get shot in the process. Finally, release. You serve out your sentence, or you need to get transferred. You get sent here. This brings you just outside the wall. Depending on where you're going, if you're going out into the outside world, you will get your property from the chest. And then you will set your spawn in here. And then you will go through this triple set of doors. If you're getting transferred, you get kill checked and cuffed. And then you would go to here and go on a minecart and get sent out here. But if you're getting released, you maxed out your sentence or on parole, you get sent here. And then you get sent out through this door. This requires a keycard, which you don't have, in order to prevent you from just coming back in the prison. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So you walk down this hallway, and you wind up here, with a spawn outside the prison, some silk touch pickaxes if you need to pick up an ender chest, and a door one way leading outside the facility. Release annex, exit only. There's a keycard if the guard needs to get in, and that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I hope you don't have to find yourself within this abomination of an Ultramax prison. Next time I will look at ADX, ADMAX Edgefrost.